Welcome to the live stream. This is the Columbus, Georgia Riverwalk, a beautiful riverwalk that extends actually all the way to Fort Benning. But today, because it is Community Outreach Day of Day 2 of the Day Stakes, we'll be running this event north towards the center city of Columbus. So here's the event we got today on lock for you. We are Heat 3. So these are the teams that are 9th through 12th place. Team 23, Team 26, Team 11, and Team 19. This is their last event of Day Stakes, so event number 8 of Day Stakes. They're doing what's called the Run-Zip-Kayak event. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to run 1.1 miles from the Riverwalk right near Columbus, Georgia, near the Civic Center. Follow the Chattahoochee north towards Center City, Columbus, about 1.1 miles. They're wearing their Camelback military equipment and boots. And then they're going to go to the zip line. They're going to zip line across the Chattahoochee. Once they're complete with the zip line from the Chattahoochee, they're then going to do a one-rope bridge across a portion on the Alabama side. And then from the Alabama side, they're going to do a kayak, 2 people in 1 kayak, all the way to the boat landing. So what we're going to get to do is run 1.1 miles with them. And then we're going to be able to watch them zip line, and then we're going to get some film action as they kayak all the way to the boat landing, which is by the Civil War Navy Museum, which is just south of the Civic Center here in Columbus, Georgia. So here we go. This is the last event for heat number 3, the Run-Zip-Kayak. Apparently it's bumping in Columbus, like it's a mini second best ranger finish line, even though it's only day 2. I guess it's awesome. Part of the course are obstacles, being just people who are out in the day, walking on their strollers, biking, just doing the normal things that people do, right? So looks like they're only starting 2 teams at one time. I assume it's going to be team 23 and 26, so it should be a bit of a race. 23 went lights freaking out for this event, for the workout of the day event, and they absolutely crushed it. Team 11, love it. There we go, 11. Team 2-3. Foul 11. Notice, you see team kayaking as well. Team 11, grinding on the run. Team 11. Run event. The Run Zipline Kayak. Team 11 just interrupted an engagement photo. Inappropriate. I think Team 11 will be docked penalty points. I was also confused, to be fair to you, Team 11.
Oh, yeah.
Team 11 time stop. 12:57. It's about 1.5 miles, 12:57, motoring. Only time they slowed down was when they went to the wrong zip line. I was also confused by it as a creator, as a facilitator. I also thought they were gonna go on the zip line. Probably wasted about 15 seconds, but it's all right. They crushed the run, that's for sure. There was no time to commentate because they were going so fast. I both noticed that they were doing strong running. Their breathing was excellent. When they were communicating, it was just, how you feeling? Do you want to run faster? No, yes. So that's great teamwork and communication. During this time when they're getting harnesses, it's all, clock is not going. Clock won't start again until they get de-harnessed on the other side. Team 11 started this event with, I want to say 23. I assume they started it by whoever was in 9th and 10th place, which I believe is probably them. They were probably 9th because their cardiovascular fitness is awesome. Oh, by the way, when they did this run, they did it with their plate carrier still on. So they've been wearing that dang plate carrier the whole time. Usually the plate carrier is only for a couple miles, not for every running event. And they have their Camelback on top of that plate carrier. And they'd be drinking a lot of water. Team 34, I believe, is still at the day stakes at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. Because this is the one event that it's off-site, I wanted to make sure that we finished off Heat 3 to see them go through the run, zip line, kayak part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get them all the way through this. Battery's back up to like 60%, and then we'll jump over to A.J. McClung to get the rest of the teams. Here's Team 23. I did not keep the time. I kept the running time for Team 11. So I think they're about 4 minutes after. So I guess it'd be 17 minutes behind, or 4 minutes behind. So they're doing their harnesses. They're gonna zip line across the Chattahoochee. Once they zip line across and they derig, their time will restart. They have to then one rope bridge across part of the Chattahoochee. Then they're gonna get in these, not kayaks, not canoes, kind of like banana boats, 2-person boats, and then we're gonna follow them as they kayak all the way down. Talking to some competitors, not sure if you can absolutely crush somebody on the kayak unless you are a professional kayaker. So the kind of strategy here was, let's go all out on this run, because we're gonna assume the run is gonna win it. Because what's gonna happen is if you go all out here, you have this time where it stops and you're harnessing up and that. So you don't have to rush yourself here, right? So you could theoretically game as an aspect. You could expeditiously put your gear on, but at the same time you could be hydrating, getting your Camelback water in, readjusting your equipment, doing your switch seat like one partner's doing on Team 11. Do it comfortably. That way you get your heart rate back down. Zip line's free, doesn't count against your time. You're gonna get a good breeze to cool yourself down. And then boom, you're back on the clock, one rope bridge and a kayak. So winners of this event are gonna be the teams who can crush this run, do it in 11 minutes or sub 11. And then the kayak, as long as they're steady, you're not stopping, you have a good coxswain. The coxswain's not a bad word, it's the person in the back who controls the boat, who can make sure that you're smoothly directing yourself through the Chattahoochee will be good. Now, one question, technicality I brought up to the ranger instructors, you are crossing into Alabama when you zip line, so you go back an hour in time. So if you were to finish on the Alabama side, would they subtract 60 minutes because you're going from the Eastern Standard Time Zone to Central? Or do they not do that? Do they do raw score? The ranger instructor looked at me with a very serious face and said, no, sir, we're not going to subtract 60 minutes. And I said, okay. And then he asked me, sir, was that a serious question? And then I said, no. And he said, okay, thank you. Because I was concerned about your intelligence. And I said, all right. You are my favorite commenter, exclamation points. You give great information, of course. Today's an easier day because it's not like we're grinding at one range for 5 hours. So if you have questions, concerns, issues, whatever, it's easier for me on this, especially because I'm only following one team right now. Just shoot the questions in the chat. I have the ability to answer them for you. When you're lingering questions like, why do they have this? Or what are they wearing? For the 1.5 mile run in 12:58, once again, they're wearing their boots. Best boot to wear. I highly recommend. It's actually a sponsor team that does everything. is definitely the Nike boot. The Nike boot is awesome. Nike boot is lightweight, it dries out quickly, it's great for high impact over long periods of time. I'm a big fan of the Nike boot. So once helmets are buckled, they're good to head on up. They're still not on the clock. So this is all free bougie time right here, right? Why would you want to go fast up? Well, maybe you're trying to transition quicker to get to the next event, but you just crushed that run. Your heart rate is high. I mean, my heart rate was high. Couldn't even commentate. The only comment I got out was when Team 11 ruined that beautiful couple's engagement photo. Ran right behind them as they were trying to take this glamour shot. Team 11, boo. Team 11 doesn't believe in love. Just kidding, joking, of course. But such a cool thing to have this event out with the community for the fact that you run into stuff like that, right? People who are just having a beautiful Saturday here in Columbus, Georgia, getting their engagement photos done. Boom, you get photobombed by a bunch of Rangers. So they're climbing a 10, 20, 30-foot tower. It's a spiral staircase, similar to what you see at the Louvre. What time did they start this morning? So the first teams arrived. Did they arrive or did they arrive? They arrived to A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium about 8:15, and then the first heat started at 8:45. So they're running today kind of like the Olympics. They're having different heats go. So heat 1 was 8:45. Heat 2 is about 26 minutes later. And so every heat 1 through heat 8, has been about 26 minutes in between. Why 26? Well, the event is 24 minutes long, the first event, workout of the day. It takes about 2 minutes to figure everything out, get all the stuff out of it. Let's give me a better shot here. Let's take a good shot over here. About 2 minutes to transition, announce the teams, announce the next heat, and then heat 2 would go. So yeah, first team started around 8:30, 8:40 time frame, and then every heat after that about 26 to 30 minutes later. The very first team, Team 36, they just finished this event at 1:30. So Team 36, the fastest team, team of the captain and the specialist, who've been lights out in all these endurance events, have been just way ahead of time. They were able to complete this event in first place, obviously because they destroyed this run that we just did. And then they finished at 1:30. So they've been going from 8:45 to 1:30. So here we go, Team 11. Look at that. Look at that camera work. Oh my gosh. I should be a professional live streamer. So this is not on the clock right now. They're ziplining from the state of Georgia to Alabama. So what we're watching right now is they're actually ziplining into the past. So what you're looking over there is them in the past 60 minutes because they've crossed over state lines. So once they get unhooked and we see them running, we know their time is going to start going again. So when I see them start running, I'll tell you, and I'll restart their clock. They're going to, there we go, run. They started the clock, clock's back up. So they're now running on the other side, actually in their gear still, sorry, because they're hooked up because they're about to do a one rope bridge. They're running all the way to this little inlet on our left side of the frame here. When they get to that left side of the frame, there's gonna be a sweet one rope bridge there. So they had horror stories, I guess, from the one rope bridge yesterday because it was so difficult. Well, guess what? They loved it so much they get to do a second time of the one rope bridge. This time though, instead of creating their own Swiss seat out of rope, they already have a harness that's set up for them to include their awesome helmets. So I see the team. They're on the left third of the screen that you're looking at right now. As we say, this Team 23 is going over the zip line right now. Team's crossing the bridge. They've made it across that metal frame bridge. Once they get across that metal frame bridge, looks like they're gonna do a button hook left and go down near those banana boat thingies, the kayak things. So they're going down the sidewalk. They were not allowed to cross the grass. And now they're gonna get to those boats. All right, competitors, here we go. You're gonna go ahead, grab your boat. Make sure you grab 2 paddles, one for you, one for your partner. They're gonna carry it onto the boat dock. They're then gonna get their boat docked in the ramp. And then they're gonna begin the kayak portion. So this is a run, zip line, kayak. They got the run done. They got the zip line done. They're now preparing to do the kayak. Sorry, because we're zoomed in, it's a little bit difficult to keep it locked in. All right, here we go to stable position. Sorry, didn't realize how off I was. All right, so they're grabbing their boat. You can see them on the right side of the screen. And they just went right down the rocks. They said, forget about this ramp. They're going down the boat ramp. Once they get down the boat ramp, they're gonna load into the boat. They're currently at 15 minutes and 50 seconds cumulative of their time. They're now gonna kayak that boat approximately 1.2 miles down the Chattahoochee south towards the Civil War Navy Museum, where they're gonna take out the boat, and that's where their time's gonna stop. All right, so key here, who is your coxswain? Who's the person who's competent, who's gone to summer camps, who's had scout leading or whatever, who actually knows how to oar, right? Or knows how to actually use paddles. Great story, my buddy, Stephen Giattino. First time we get into a big Zodiac boat. He takes the paddle and he starts trying to use the paddle like it's a big giant spoon in soup and starts stirring the water. And we said, Stephen, what are you doing? And he said, I never went to camp before. And we're like, really, dude? So it's important to know who that person is. If you have the person on your team, you put them in the front. And then you have the person who's very competent at being the coxswain and steering you, put them in the back. So you can already see they are already kind of going backwards a little bit. It's like coxswain to course correct. It is a boat, right? So like that boat ain't that easy. So they hit the water at about 16 minutes, almost on the dot. Once they get in the rhythm, Chattahoochee is going pretty fast south. So they're gonna be able to take this stream here and they're gonna be able to start cooking. The more they make me run as a streamer, the more you're gonna know how well they're doing. Hey, sir, I apologize. Did you say where we could find the team standings? Yes. You don't gotta call me sir, by the way. My name's Jay. Don't call me sir, that's weird. You go to the Facebook first. Once you're at Facebook, go to the Airborne Ranger Training Brigade. Definitely give a follow and like to the Airborne Ranger Training Brigade, and know that they post the standings after every team has gone through every single event. So the recent time they post the standings was, I think midday, to say how everybody did after the night foot march. And probably since then, they've likely posted the standings for after night stakes. And then I assume because now they're breaking down the lanes one at a time, they can post the standings by each event, workout of the day, laser shot, and so forth. Or maybe they wait until the entire day's over, and then they're just gonna say, hey, after day stakes, here's how we are. Is this a single paddle or double face? Just curious, can't see from here. Well, let's let you see now because we're gonna zoom in. What do you think? Oh, definitely single paddle. That's Stephen Giattino material right there, using and stirring the water like soup. And we're like, man, don't you know you put your hand on the one end and then you stroke? And he was like, no, I didn't know that. I never went to camp. Like, are you serious? So yeah, that's a single paddle. I guess double paddle would be a little bit more technical, right? Is that correct? You could tell me. I'm not the best kayaker in the sense of knowing my kayak stuff. I just know if you give me a paddle or an oar, I can paddle an oar. One thing I'm seeing with Team 11 is they're actually having difficulty keeping it straight. So that's telling me that the person in the back might be overcorrecting, or the person in front is over paddling one way on one side. So you as the coxswain in the back, you get to watch your competitor in front of you, and then you can manage expectations of how the boat's gonna go. Always knowing that that boat is probably gonna be about 5 seconds behind your actual paddle rate. So these are fun things that you should do as a competitor, do as a human being, get out there, challenge yourself, because you're not gonna know how good you are at something until you do it, right? There they are. What was the rest time difference between the first time and last team that finished the unknown distance ruck march last night? So let me get a little better. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Hello.
What was the rest time difference between the first time and last team? Okay, yeah, so the first time in the foot march last night was Team 36. Team 36 absolutely crushed the event. So I think they got to rest time at about 4:40 p.m. So they got to rest 2 hours, 20 minutes. The last place team, they had absolutely no rest time. They actually started the event late, as in like the ruck march went ahead of them. So the difference in time there was, 3 hours, right? And yesterday was a longer day. In some years when it's very quick, just because the events have a lot of throughput, you can be done by 1:30 p.m. and not start until 7:30. So you get 5 to 6 hours off. Always though, those teams towards the back, they're only gonna have about 30 to negative minutes now is the new thing during this event. All right, Team 23 is actually a much better paddling team than Team 11. 23 has closed a considerable distance, especially given the fact that Team 11 crushed them on the run here. Oh no, I'm gonna ruin this couple's happiness. I'm sorry. Ruining love, my bad. Dang it. I walked right in front of them. Gosh darn it. Second time I bothered them today. All right, we're gonna get a good shot out here when we get around. Yeah, Team 11's on the struggle bus right now. 11 is doing a lot of overcorrecting, and it's taking 10 to 15 seconds before that correction comes into place. So what has happened is they do a full 90-degree turn, and then they're going down horizontally or perpendicular to the stream as they're paddling south. Team 23, as I'm watching them, they are a slow, consistent stroke, and they're looking pretty good. So for Team 23 to technically beat Team 11, I think because they got beat by about 4 minutes down there on the run, we're gonna need to see Team 23 get about 4 minutes ahead on this kayak portion. All right, see, they're doing this a lot right here, where Team 11's boat is turning almost 90 degrees. Meanwhile, look at Team 23, how much they've closed the gap already. And they are consistently beasting through this. So somebody has been preparing. Oh my gosh, they're both in the frame at once. This is like a literal race of boats. You could not have a more exciting race of boats on the stream. You gotta share this with friends, families, loved ones. Look at this. Look at this race right here. Oh man, Team 11 in front. They keep going that 90-degree turn. Team 23 is undeterred. Look at 23 in the back. 23 is like, we ain't turning at all. We're gonna destroy you. Now, remember, Team 11 won the run portion by about 4 minutes. So Team 23 does have to make up 4 minutes on this kayak portion. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's very difficult. But based off of 23's consistency, they're not paddling hard. The rear man, the coxswain, not a dirty word, but actual position on the boat, he's doing a great job. He recognizes when his teammate in front Maybe he's paddling a little bit too strong or consistent. And then what he does is he puts his paddle in the water to help guide it left and right. So clearly 23 has a lot of outdoor chops in him, has experience with this kind of stuff. And it's got to be super motivating as you're doing this with the helmet on, your plate carrier and stuff. And you're like, this is pretty cool. Like, we're going to pass a team on the gosh darn water, right?
We've actually had some.
We talked about the Ranger Creed. We're going to fight you anywhere, air, land, and sea. Well, let's call the Chattahoochee the sea today. Oh, load. Team 11, they're at that 9-degree pitch again. And 23 has officially taken the lead on Team 11 on the kayak. Now, once again, Team 23 has to beat Team 11 on this kayak by 4 minutes to catch up for all the run time that they lost by. But still, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, let's go, 4-6. 4-6 looked at me like they were gonna kill me. They were like, Jay, why are you here? Stop yelling at me. It's all right, happens to the best of us. All right, Team 23 is the team that is further away, or on the top part of your screen. Team 11 is closer. .23 pushing towards the front. If you're Team 11 at this point, you just gotta know, hey, we're technically ahead of them. Our goal is to stop, go on 9-degree turns, and let's try to push ourselves just to be consistent. Keep our boat straight, keep it oriented south. We're gonna get a really good view here once we come out of the official Columbus River Walk portion. Oh, we got a duck race right here. Duck race, Team 23, trying to pull away. It seems like Levin's really got consistent. Yeah, 2. Get it. Big red 1, baby.
Red 1.
Big red 1, Team 2. So that kind of lets you know too what heats are behind us that are going on the run, the zip line kayak. I believe that is heat 4 behind him. So that tells you that teams through 16th place are coming through. So that means we still got 16 teams that got to do this event. Because Day Stakes was kind of running this head-to-head manner today, it's going to be over a lot faster. Sometimes Day Stakes drags on at Todd Field until like 16:30 or 1700, so 4:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. for normal talk people. And those can be long days and like very tiring. Today's kind of sweet because if you are towards these top 12 teams, you're going to be done by 3 o'clock. And now you have an hour and a half, 2 hours. You gotta actually do the most difficult night of your life, night orienteering. Night orienteering tonight, they're gonna leave at approximately 4:30 or 5 from the HLZ set up by the Civil War Museum in Columbus, Georgia. They're gonna fly to Orion HLZ. At Orion HLZ, they're gonna then walk with their rucks and stuff up to the night hold for night orienteering. They're gonna get their night orienteering briefing. They're then gonna load trucks to take them to their starting point. They're gonna have 4 teams start at every point. I think there's like 10 points out there. You have 3 teams start at each point, so it's about 30 teams, plus they'll have one elsewhere. So 32 teams will be out there. And then they're gonna say go. Tonight is identical to last year. So it's a star course. You start at one point on your map. They give you 1 point. You have to move out, and you can't collect a point until you get to that point. So when you get to that point, whatever that point is, now you'll get your second point, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the night stakes, or night orienteering, team that wins is the team that collects the most points and travel the furthest distance. So that's why it's the worst night of your life, because when you're walking 6 hours, think about the first team last night, they walked 4 hours, 15 minutes. They have to walk an additional hour 15. Oh boy, you can see Team 11 again, cutting 9 degrees. We'll see how much of a difference it's gonna make time-wise. Team 23 really leading out front now. Normal talk people. I mean, well, see, the normal talk people thing, to be clear, I use too much military time, and then people look at me, okay, can you tell me that in like English terms? And I go, you're right, because 1600 makes no sense. It's 4 p.m. 23 pulling away right now, my gosh. Normal talk people, that's me. Thank you. Always have to use my figures to figure it out. That's right, you do. I was always taught the trick of do subtract by 10, right? 1600 subtract by 10, that's 6, and then subtract 2 more, that's 4, boom, 4 p.m. Theoretically, you could just do subtract by 12, but then it gets confusing when it's like 2200 and stuff, so I do by 10, and then by 2, and then I know what time it is. And then normal human time is easy. So that 1.1 mile run out was fast. Couldn't commentate at all. Just trying to get my breathing under control. This kayak back is gentle and calming, soothing. Able to do a bit of jogging when we know a little obstacle is coming up. All right, we're gonna go past this bridge here. Team 23 caught Team 11 on the kayak, but it has to be Team 11 by approximately 4 minutes if they want a chance to actually beat Team 11 in this individual event. Team 23, am I zoomed out all the way? I am. Team 11 is back there. About 200 meters separation between them. So Team 23 started approximately, we'll say 400 meters ahead of 23. 23 has gained 600 meters on Team 11. Team 23 not one time has accidentally moved their boat 90 degrees or cantilevered it at all. They've been absolutely crushing this, just consistent smoothness. And notice too, because it's like a 1.4 mile kayak, I don't know if that's long or far or whatever, they're just very deliberate. They're not doing strokes like they're doing the Murph or some kind of CrossFit competition. They're deliberately taking their angles. There we go, Team 5 or 3. Hold on, 3. I can't see numbers well, apparently. I'm becoming dyslexic as I live stream too much each day. The 3 looked like a 5 to me. My gosh, I'm gonna wait longer. Yeah, 4-7.
Let's go.
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's get it, baby. 4-7 got that juice. So when teams like give the shout out back, that's when you know, like, okay, they're in good spirits. Being in good spirits is huge to this competition because there can be so many sad events or times that you don't do that well. When you got an event like this where like you're moving, you're feeling good, sun's out, civilians are out, people are cheering you on, it's motivating. Especially you need to enjoy this happy time before you go to the darkest place ever you will tonight during the 20-mile foot march through night orienteering when you are getting stuck in vines and thorns and you and your partner are cussing each other out. Tonight is the worst night of all time. Great heart from everyone. Oh my gosh, you're not kidding. Whether teams are the first heat or the last heat, everyone is giving 100% and then some. They're living the Ranger Creed and they're putting it on display and highlighting it for us here at this event in the beautiful Columbus, Georgia. 23 is pounding right now. Like they are hitting that water. Notice they got a safety boat here with them at all times. Ooh, Columbus Fire Rescue is also recording. Oh my gosh. Is that Blaine Reeves on the live stream also recording them with the, what? Are you kidding me? Are you telling me we're both live streaming the boats right now? No way. And it looks like he's getting Is he getting more views than me? Oh my gosh. Blaine's got more views too. Jeez. See, this is the difference. When you win the Best Ranger competition, like you did in 1993, you get to be on this boat that's giving you this wonderful control here. Team 23, Team 11. And then you get me, who I've finished 3 times, but I've not won the competition. And I gotta huff it out myself and run on the roads and walk through the woods. Because guess what? Winning does matter. At the end of the day, whoever's won the competition before, that's what matters most. And as you can see, the VIP perks that come with it. Winner of the competition in 1993, Blaine Reeves, he's live streaming on the gosh darn boat. And then you got just 3-time finisher, 7-time coach over here, Jay, and I'm walking and running alongside, putting in the miles. What he would tell me is I'm not thinking smart, I'm working too hard. I'm being a strong ranger. That means I'm using too much force and putting my body on the line. He's being what's called a smart ranger, somebody who looked around, assessed the situation, said, hey, Mr. Police Officer, sir, how are you? May I please get in the boat with you? The police officer says, absolutely. You just have to wear this life vest. And he says, yes, sir, I'll wear the life vest. And now he's live streaming on the Chattahoochee. And check this out, mind trick stuff. I'm in Georgia. He's in Alabama because he's halfway across the Chattahoochee point. He's beyond the halfway point. Mind blown. He's technically an hour behind us. So who's really winning in the end? Just thoughts. Oh man, people jump to the other stream. Gosh darn it. See, but that's good though. I'm influencing, I'm plugging other influencers. It's good. Half left, peace. Yep, gotta do my push-ups, I get it. He tried shouting out to you, but you didn't hear. I will say you are more interesting. No, well, first off, I don't know how to take it that I'm more interesting. I don't know if that's a slight. It means I'm goofy or whatever. I did hear him and I did wave to him. And I told him Team 23 is over there, Team 11. I think he shouted back at me. I was like, eh. Direct action, you're doing it right. Any idea where my Team 14 is? Yes, Team 14 is in a heat. So whatever heat they are, if you tell me, I can probably tell you exactly where they are on the day stakes. You are way funnier. Actually, I lost the sound with the other and jumped out of there. Ranger and stupid have the same amount of letters. Dang it. Where do these jokes come from? Not a slight, you're great. All right. So we're chilling right now. This is great. Get a really good breeze. Team 23 is coasting. I think they got like 500 people on the channel over there. Wow. 23, I'm gonna get up here in the shade. I'm gonna get you a better view of where 11 is. We'll still follow them to the end. That way we can give a final time for 23. And let's see if 23 finished off that 4-minute gap in the run. My mind as a coach, I thought there's no way you'd be able to catch up on the kayak. So there's 23 over there. And there's Team 11. That's about a 400-meter gap. So that means 23 has closed or has made 800 meters up in the water. So will that 800 meters translate into 4 minutes? This is gonna be the exciting ending of this stream that we can't miss. Wish they were still live streaming at the stadium too. Yeah, so that's definitely like, because we've been focused on heats 1 and 3, just because those heats 1, 2, and 3 tend to be the teams we're gonna see who possibly win. We wanted to put effort into them, and then ideally when we're done with this, we'll be able to jump back and start hitting up the other heats, 4 through 8, wherever they may be. Although we know heat 4 just ran by us, so we'll not be able to catch up with heat 4. Any idea where 36 is? 36, if you can tell me what heat they are, I can tell you. Heat 4 is currently on this exact same event. They're doing the run right now, or finishing up the run. By the time we get up to where we started here, likely heat 5 is gonna be here. Heat 6 is probably at the thermodynamic breach, Heat 7 is at the axe throwing. Heat 8 is probably at the mortar firing point. So if you can identify what heat their team is on, I can tell you where they are. Yeah, 23 is smooth. Smooth. Their stroke, nice and easy, nice and consistent. I think sometimes in your head when you're preparing for a competition like this, you assume you're always going to be at a rate of perceived exertion 10, just lights out all the time, and that's not the case, right? Case in point with this example, look at the kayak. There it is technically sound, staying dead center of the river, allowing the stream to catapult them forward, and they're moving nice, consistent. How is Heat 6 doing? So Heat 6, 4 is on this race, 5 is about to start, 6 is over at the thermodynamic breach as we speak right now. There we go, ladies. Are we excited?
Yeah.
We got to see if this team can win by 4 minutes. That means they passed them in the kayak.
Oh, did they?
And they lost their run by 4 minutes. So I don't know. We're going to see here.
Hey, I hope so.
Okay. Has team 4. Good work. You have a great personality. Keep us involved. All right, here we go. We got so this is a lot of wood line over here. So we're gonna have to pounce forward. Oh. We're barking. Check out where we are, people. We're back at the start line where we started today. There's your ranger instructors absolutely crushing this lane right now. Love it. You guys are killing it. Well done. They're like, gosh dang it, Jay. Stop burying us. My God. So now we are running towards the boat ramp. Boat ramp is located at the Civil War Museum, which is just south of the Civic Center. That's where the boat ramp's gonna be for competitors to finish. They're gonna get out with all their equipment, carry the boat across the line, and then the time is finished. Right now, clock says 42 minutes. Thank you. Look at some keyhole views of the team. This is gonna be a good view of how fast they're actually going. So we're looking directly parallel to the Chattahoochee. They are the boat that is dead center right now. Almost look like they're rowing on top of the wood. And there's the police escort boat with Blaine Reeves streaming on the other channel. So they are nice and consistent. They know the end is near. I mean, I guess the real strategy is still run lights out on the run, right? But then maybe be semi-competent on any kind of boat. Just know how to row a boat together with a person. That's the answer. Because you're falling off sideways all time, all day. That's not gonna be able to do it for you. Jay could probably film and complete at rate he's going. I love your clear commentary. You know what? Got to try to end using those words like you know, repeat words. Got to tighten that up, right? We can all improve in different realms, even me in live streaming. No, because we're in a rough spot of no, you can just barely see a good view up here. 23, looking smooth. Meanwhile, you got that going right above your head. How cool is that? Give it to the Black Hawk. Rotor wash coming in hot. Likely picking up teams to take them to Orion HLZ. All right, back to the main effort here. What we're truly focused on is Team 23 drama of them starting 200 meters, so getting crushed by 4 minutes in the run, starting the boat about 200 meters behind. They've now gained about 800 or 600 meters on the water itself. Team 23, when they finish at home, if you're loving Team 23 or just love this drama, start the clock. If Team 23 can hold out for 4 minutes, that means they would have beat Team 11, even though Team 11 crushed them in the run by 4 minutes. That's kind of cool about this competition. You might do great in an event, you might be way ahead, but then as soon as you add in something like this, a kayak, a canoe, throw an axe, whatever it is, you can allow a gap for another team to come in and win. All right. Coxon is doing some good work, trying to get their boat to shift left. Jump over to the boat finishes. There they are. Team 23. We're at 48 minutes and 10 seconds total. Time on the clock for this event. And we paused the time while they were doing the whole rig thing. Here we go, 23. All right, so the other stream's gonna have a better view than me, but they are gonna get to the boat ramp here. I believe time does not stop until they get to a certain point. Let me look at the answer. Smart Rangers right here, using the boat dock to pull themselves in. They gotta carry all their equipment. Here we go, 23.
Here, I'm gonna get on that side. I'm gonna get up there with you. You gotta carry it from both ends. You gotta carry it from both ends. Only got 70 meters to go.
You can tell this is what happens when you got that 50 miles in your body. See that rear, that walk, it's a standard gait that will occur in this competition. your body has been pushed to its absolute limit. But somehow you can still push even further every time. Finish line, they have to go all the way through the double cone. Once they get to the double cone, they're done. Both gotta get all the way through the double cone. Once they're through the double cone, we'll start our timer at home. It should be 4 minutes is what we're looking for. Team 23. Time complete. Finish at 51:11. So now I start a clock. If it takes Team 11 more than 4 minutes, that means Team 11 has been passed by Team 23 on this individual event. It'll also tell me that my strategy of going as fast as possible on the run apparently was not the answer, because we forgot about the whole point that you need to actually be able to properly row a boat or be a coxswain or do a kayak. So, good lesson learned for future coaches out there. Don't just assume because you run fast, you're gonna win. You have to be able to row a boat and paddle a boat too. We're at minute 9 right now. I'm in the lead. I've doubled the viewers. Okay. Another team is about to pull up. All right. So Team 11, I'm going to call it right now. There is no way Team 11 can get here to the boat dock up the 70 meters in time to cross that finish line. They only have 2 minutes left. This is wild. What's going on? How are you? Yeah, that was poor ducking. That was ineffective ducking. That was like one of those things like when you're crossing the street and the car comes and then you pretend like you're running, like you do the run walk, but you could have walked just as fast. That's exactly what happened there. He did like the duck thing where he's like, oh, I'm gonna duck underneath your live stream you're obviously doing, but then he like just walked past it. So I'm not sure how I felt about that. 2 minutes. Team 11 has 2 minutes to close the gap. If they cannot finish this race in the next 2 minutes, that means Team 23 has officially passed them. And I will be eating my words, and I'll be adjusting coaching in the future that, yes, run fast, but also competently drive the boat straight. Because 23 did not one time cantilever their boat at all, push it left to right, get perpendicular. It was pretty awesome. And they weren't really grinding to go fast. I think maybe when they kind of picked it up on the paddling, was maybe when they actually saw the Ranger flags over here, because they knew that was in the finish. So then they probably did like a power 20 where it was a 20, 19, like a countdown aspect. They were also really effective at getting around the dock and pulling themselves in. So we'll see how good Team 11 is at that this year. It's gonna be a lot tougher because 11's got 2 boats in the way now. That's part of the obstacles, right? Like you have people who live in the real world out here. Telling them right now, I gotta get around the boat ramp. They have 50 seconds. That was one heck of a makeup in the gap on the water. Unreal, like impossible. Okay, so like look at this. You can see just how uncomfortable 11 is. I mean, this is probably something they didn't plan. Like you did not train for canoeing or rafting. I do recommend at least one time getting in the water, but obviously this didn't happen because getting around these boats alone is gonna take a minute and a half, right? It's unfortunate that there are boats here, but the military is not in charge of this area.
Keep going over here. Hit the ramp. Come on.
Come on, boys.
Yep, let's go back.
Hey, going backwards, love it. So 4 minutes just hit. So Team 11 has officially been passed by Team 23. I am shooketh. I am I have learned a lesson today, as I do almost every competition. Yes, the answer to this event was running as fast as dang possible. But the second lesson was you need to be able to be competent on a boat. Whether it's a kayak, a canoe, a Zodiac, a banana boat, whatever.
Sticks!
So team 23 was getting beat by 4 minutes on the run, but then they gained all that time back. Team 11 just crossed 5 minutes, 11 seconds after the kayak. That means team 23 gained all that time on the kayak and then some. Unbelievable. Incredible. Got another team right here. Yeah, 2-6. Yeah, 2-6. Uh-huh. That's it. That's it. Get it, boys. Get all the way through it. All the way through it, and then start thinking about rest, recovery, food, hydrogen, rehydrate, rest before night orienteering. Come on. That was Team 26. Team 26 ran extremely fast as well. I also think they probably boated pretty quickly because they were a bat out of heck there. That's outstanding work. All right. So now competitors are being told by the range instructors, hey, take all your equipment off, put it by the boats. Yeah, Cam. Yeah, Cam. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Great boat, too. Hey, food, hydration. Tonight's the worst night of your life, ever. I'm promising you. So you got to get to the recovery aspect now, because tonight's going to be terrible, all right? Take your time. Get all this stuff in you. See you, boys. Tomorrow. All right, so we saw Team 26, Team 11, Team 23 complete the Run-Zip-Kayak. That was one heck of a makeup. Unreal. So if you weren't on the stream earlier, Team 23 got destroyed by 4 minutes on the run, but then Team 23 ended up winning the boat by 5 minutes, 11 seconds, meaning they won the event against Team 11 by a minute 11. I was shook by that. Team 23, let's go, doing awesome. They are doing a great job. I think they absolutely destroyed that too because their boat time was fast and their run I know was fast. So I'm at 10% battery right now. I'm gonna turn off the stream, go get charged up, see what other teams we can catch either at AJ McClung Memorial Stadium or on this event. We'll talk to you later. Hopefully you guys can jump over to another live stream. See you later.